You are listening to the 184th episode of the Game Out Loud podcast, your podcast for everything gaming. I am your host again this week. I think this is going to become something standard, Jordan Rusnak. And joining me this week again for the second time, which we're happy to have him, is Mr. Kevin Kirk.
Hi, how's it going?
Good. Glad to hear that enthusiasm there, Mr. Kirk. And also, we're going to go to the next most enthusiastic guy on the podcast, Dylan Smith.
Holy crap, hello!
All right. I like that enthusiasm. Now, Rob, you're the last one here. You got to blow that shite out of the water. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, I guess.
And the enthusiasm is amazing. Oh, my
It's
God.
the landing.
He stuck the landing. It's obviously at a level that I'm nowhere near.
I'm so enthusiastic that I came back around to the other side.
Gotcha.
Full 360.
Sweet. Well, guys, we got a special show for you this week. We're going to do things a little differently. We're not going to have our what we've been playing. We're not going to have our cha-ching episode. What is that part called? Extra points. That one. Ba-ding. So what we're going to...
Lane, see it.
What, Rob?
I said 10 Cloverfield Lane, see it.
Okay, there's Rob's extra points. Dylan, what's your extra point? Quick, 30 seconds.
I like 21 Pilots.
Sweet. Kevin, extra points?
Go see Batman versus Superman.
And my extra points is that I think everyone should read Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe. Okay, that being said, now we're going into... Oh, does that hurt you inside?
I died a little bit.
The feels.
Yeah, you're
Jordan.
supposed to, because he
feels.
breaks the fourth dimension. You're supposed to die a little bit there, too, because, anyway.
I see what you did there.
I did, yeah. Yeah. What we're going to do is we're going to talk about this little game. You might have heard about it. It came out recently. It's called Street Fighter V, and Dylan has been waiting for so long to talk about this game that we're not actually going to talk about that. We're going to ruin his day, and we're going to talk about The Division, which just released last week. So we have had a chance to play it, and for those of us who have beat it, Mr. Kevin Kirk, we'll be getting some information out of you that way. We're going to keep it spoiler free, if you would, please.
Certainly.
But we would like to, talk about everything about, what do you say? It like beginning into Matt Hand, like that first series of unlocks, I think is good to talk about.
Okay.
Other than that, I think we'll leave it up to ambiguity, but we can talk about some stuff like end game material if you've played some more, Kevin, or the like. But I think first off, we have to start round robin and get first impressions. And I think we would be amiss if we started with Dylan because he wanted this for so long. So we're going to make him wait just a little bit longer. Kevin, what was your initial impressions of The Division?
Initial impressions, just as soon as I got the hands on with it, I was a huge Destiny player. I played Destiny on the 360 and on the Xbox One. I think I put about 400 hours from the 360 version and another 600 on the Xbox One version. And this game is just everything I wanted Destiny to be and more, going into all of the upgrades, the story, just the character skills, unlocks. Everything has just been so tight and so polished that I'm glad they took the time they did to push it back, give it some time to grow, because it's definitely a really solid game because of it.
Awesome. Well, thanks. From right to left there, Rob, now you're up.
Yeah, so I was probably the least excited of anyone on this podcast for this game. And even having played it, some people have been asking me if they should get it. And I'm like, well, does it look interesting to you? Because if not, skip it. It is what it looks like. It's not going to be the game that sells you on these big mission-based kind of grindy multiplayer games. But for what it is, I think it's the best game out there. It's definitely better than Destiny, and very similar to it. But the mechanics are better. The world feels more alive and is laid out in a more interesting way. And the story is, typical Ubisoft. It's not like amazing or anything, but there's effort that was actually put into it, and you don't just have to like go online and read a bunch of backstory. You can actually figure out what's going on in the game by playing the game. So that's nice. So I've been very pleasantly surprised by it. I think this is a game I'll play a lot of, actually.
All right. So the moment you've all been waiting for, my opinions on The Division. I don't know. I find more good things about it than I did with Destiny. I think that there are some issues that need to be addressed that have to do with sort of the multiplayer aspect of it in some ways. But we'll come to those a little later on since we're giving first impressions. I'm having a good time with it. I think I've put the most time into it, other than Kevin, for the core group here. I think I put the most time into it. Because Rob here didn't realize you could play it on your own. And Rob,
I mean,
Rob
I knew
did-
that. I just really didn't want to play with randos. Like, if I had just played with random people and that was it, I would probably not be coming on here with a positive impression. Like, this is a get your buddies together and play type of game.
Well, you're ruining my joke, though, because Rob didn't know you could play by yourself. Dylan's been too busy playing with himself to play the game. And, yeah, so I think I've put about 15 hours in now, which I think puts me in the lead for at least you two, not you three. Kevin's got me beat. But... all right, Dylan, you're sitting there chomping at the bit. Let's hear it, buddy. What do you think?
You know,
You have been trying to get us to get excited about this game for like almost a year now. Now, how do you feel about the release?
somehow,
Now, we've been trying to get this out of you, how you feel, but come on, Dylan, what's going on? Okay, I was just with all seriousness now. Is it worth the wait? Is it living up to your hype?
somehow,
Now, hold on, Dylan, before you talk.
somehow, I told you so. Just doesn't quite cut it.
You're right, because I don't think you can quite tell me I told you so with how I feel about this game, but I don't think you meant it that way.
Hey, it's not broken.
It's not. It is definitely not. Not all the way. I mean, I did manage to shove two of you into geometry to the point where you couldn't get out
Yeah, twice.
yesterday. But other than that, that's about as broken as I think I've had it.
And now we know who the MVP of our group is, don't we?
Me,
Duh.
I'm the highest level. Which
I know, right?
let me get this off my chest right away.
No.
This bra is really tight. I just need to get this off.
No, see, but that underwired, bro. That underwire.
Yeah,
It
but
gets me every time. I get these stupid freaking like crease line. Nobody else?
I get those in my
I just
thong.
let these puppies hang.
See, I admire your bravery because I can't stand the thought of these things sagging when I'm older. Like, they're nice, and I want to retain that into my 40s and 50s.
See, I have that same mentality with my testicles, so I just wear this like thing that straps it to my dick and balls, and it just pulls up, and so that way they're not going to drop. When I'm 50, I'll have the scrotum of a 12-year-old.
Okay, that's
Gross.
just kind of
That's
creepy and
the dream.
gross.
Everyone wanted that image in their head, Jordan.
Seriously, Jordan. Thanks, bro. Go team. Team Gulp. Woo!
No problem. Oh God.
Anywho. So, what do you guys think about the division?
So the one thing I had a problem with was when we were trying to play. I'm level 14. You're level 9. Rob's level 2. It doesn't do a good job of allowing multiple people of multiple levels to play together.
I think that's specifically to avoid exactly what we were doing, which is trying to power level me.
True, but every MMO should have a means of power leveling your friends to where you are.
Or you can just let your friend play the game.
That would require your friend to play the game.
No,
Either
that's
way, it requires your friend to
madness.
play the game.
But we were trying to do hard difficulty just to help Rob out. And
No, Kevin, hold on, dude. Just wait.
did you try
We
doing
will
it?
have a conversation about this, man.
Like
Oh yeah.
we it scales to the highest person in the group, and then it makes everything elite. Like
Stupid.
it is fucking
Stupid.
hard. Like
Yeah, so this is kind of how it went. All right, we can enter the area now. Let's go in. All right, take cover. All right, I'm initiating. Hey, Jordan, could you res me?
yeah.
Hey, Jordan, could you res me? It was literally one-shot kills. So I would just have to hide as far away as I could and just like
Hot shots, man.
just pot shots and just barely doing any damage
Just
and
like-
just trying not to get hit even once.
Me and Jordan are sitting there like on the front line, just duking it out with him, and then you'll see just one random bullet just Like, yeah, Rob, all right, buddy.
Yeah, I went through the exact same thing with my group of buddies. We went into a mission, got it on hard mode, figured, all right, this dude's level 4, we're level 12, like we'll just try to get him power leveled. And yeah, there's a skill you can get, the support station. If you are power leveling, we'll just refer to it as that. You know, you got a low level buddy. There's a perk you can put on it to auto revive someone who goes down.
Yep.
Yeah, you're gonna want to invest in
Yep.
that.
That's what-
because
Yep.
they're
Thank you,
going
Jordan.
to go
Yep. I was like, okay, if we're gonna do this, we're gonna go do some medical missions first, and I'm gonna get that because that would be
Yeah.
good to have. Cause like just being able to pick you up, just leave this here. You stay here.
Yeah.
Rob,
yeah.
I'm down. Did you move from your hole? God damn it! If you move from your hole.
Yeah. No, it's definitely a trudge. And I like, while it's something that I think will probably be addressed at a later date, like the game, it's been a week since its launch, and I think that's what the biggest, like, they want people to just play the game first. You know, if you want a power level, fine, that's what's gonna happen, and you're bad and should feel bad for going into a level 15 area with a level 3 and
He was level
hoping.
2. Thank you.
Yeah, by the time we left, I was level 5.
Whoa, yeah, we actually did the same thing with one of our coworkers. I mean, he was not having any fun, but by the end of an hour session, we got him from 4 to 13. So
Wow, nice.
uh,
You had a better group than I did. It was me and Dylan was lower level than me, and then I had Rob.
so
I like how we just kind of tagged that on. And then I had Rob.
yeah, so when you have a Rob in that situation, Rob is not supposed to shoot anything. He can throw out a skill at any point in time, just because the way the damage scales and the damage works, you're not, anything that low level is doing is not helping, because even as, like, to draw aggro, they're downed so quick that it just becomes a go constantly revive them. Like, it's unfortunate, you know, they just got to sit there and wait in their cover and maybe jump away if a grenade is thrown, maybe not. It's honestly, like, anything they're going to do is just going to cause everyone else to try to have to revive them. So yeah, support station, and yeah, just play lower level missions with them.
Yeah.
Get
So-
them in the feel for the game.
So then it sounds like it might be a little more of a difficult endeavor, this power leveling. Would you even recommend it? Do you think that we, just as an example, me, Jordan, and Rob, are we enough to do it?
Between two people, it's definitely doable. To have a third person that is not putting out the damage output, I would stay away from the hard level missions until everyone is ready, because with some of those elite enemies, you have to soak so much, you know, damage into them. You're gonna run out of ammo long before you get their shields down. And yeah, not having, for every person that's in the group, it increases the difficulty, increases the enemy's health and damage output exponentially. So just having a third person there is going to make it harder, and then having a third person that can't do the damage output, it's just not worth doing it on hard mode. Wait till you beat the level, you know, get everybody to the same level, then hit the hard difficulty so you can get the rewards for it.
Yeah. Now, when I've been playing this on my own, I've been doing those missions on difficult, on hard by myself,
Right.
which is fucking ridiculous to try to do. It makes the rest of the game feel rather easy after you beat those.
Yeah.
But I haven't noticed, like, what is the benefit of doing those on hard? Do you know?
So you get an increase in experience. You get an increase in drop rate. Like, there's a higher chance of dropping higher level gear from killing elite enemies. And at the end of the mission, you're guaranteed at least blue, dependent on the mission. I think there's a mission where you're guaranteed purples. But I think you have to hit 25 for that. It's one of the one of the later missions, so you wouldn't be able to do it until about that level anyways.
Gotcha. So yeah, that's our conversation about The Division. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll see you next week. If you want to find out more about The Division, just listen now because I'm joking. Go ahead, Rob.
Well, I do want to say, like, speaking of all this difficulty level stuff, normal feels like easy and hard feels like hard.
Yeah.
I don't think they quite have the perfect air to fuel mixture with that yet. Like, I feel like maybe they should tweak normal a little bit more, because the normal missions we did, even the higher level ones, were a cakewalk, and I was easily able to contribute to that stuff. And the ones that were my own level were just like very easy. And I'm not good at games. You guys know this. So that's
I don't think any of us really are.
yeah, Dylan's okay. None of us
I
are
don't know
your
what you're
roommate.
talking about.
But
Yeah, Kevin's fantastic at video games, but he's not one of our regulars. Not yet. We'll ruin him. We'll ruin him yet.
You can try.
Just watch when I start beating you in Street Fighter 5. It's gonna mess with your confidence so bad that you're just gonna like give up gaming forever.
That'll be the day. But I will become a mountain man hermit with nothing but a PlayStation and Street Fighter 5 to bring my sweet, sweet revengeance.
Revengeance? No, that's Metal Gear
Yes.
Solid.
That was a thing before Metal Gear Solid, sir.
Metal Gear Solid Revengeance?
Yes.
No, that wasn't a thing before Metal Gear Solid. They made Metal Gear Solid Revengeance.
Yes. They made one Metal Gear Solid Revenge or Metal Gear Revengeance.
Oh, you're right. It wasn't Metal Gear Solid. Damn it, my joke's ruined.
Yeah. See, I can do that too.
I see what you did there to coin a phrase from somebody I spoke to recently.
I think that was me.
What do you guys think of the actual the gameplay, the gun battles, the mission quests, and the like?
feels pretty good.
Talk amongst
It is-
yourselves. I will be right back.
Yeah.
There's some bullet sponginess going on. I think that's just a problem you can't really solve with these RPG heavy shooters, but the AI seems pretty decent. The guns all feel nice and feedbacky, and it doesn't. Sometimes in games like this, like what's that free to play one on the PS4 and the PC? It's like one of the earliest free to play online shooters, third person shooters
Warframe?
on PS4. Warframe. That game kind of feels like you're shooting Nerf guns to me. Whereas this, everything feels right and solid. It's just they nail the combat fundamentals, I think.
Yeah. No, it's it definitely feels really solid, really smooth. Yeah, the bullet sponginess, there's I want to see something different done, but I couldn't give any input on how to do it differently. When you get these type of games, like, yeah, there's really no other way to do it. But I mean, I think just the world in itself, like, really, it just feels so alive. And just traversing through it, seeing all of the I don't know if you guys have encountered any echoes yet, but I find those things just awesome, being able to see this story play out and try to piece it together from piece to piece. There are actually a couple echoes in there that, I mean, I loved the storytelling they did with them. Not going to get into too many specifics for it, because I think it was pretty what's the word I'm looking for? It's pretty story heavy, but yeah, I mean, just the way they do it, just the the world, the way they built this world, you can see that, like, yeah, something did happen here, something bad happened here, and you can just paint that picture the whole time you're playing, like, seeing a car hit, ran over a group of civilians or something, or a bunch of body bags on the sidewalk, like, you can tell, okay, what happened here, like, put that story together. So I think they did a really good job with that.
I agree. I think that with, like, no pun intended, but I'll echo what he's saying.
I see what you did there.
Thanks. I tried very hard. I've also hung around Jordan for a while. No, but it's you're right, Kevin. It's a great means of conveying that story, and I will also reverberate what you've been talking about with the immersion, the ability to really immerse yourself in this world of whatever the heck just happened to New York. Like, It's a really cool thing, and I'm you heard the guys. I've been chomping at the bit for this game for freaking months, and just to finally see it come to fruition, even those like delays are a-okay by me. In my personal opinion, the wait was worth it. If
Yeah.
you are on the fence about this game, I don't know why you're still on the fence, personally. But I've been saying that since before there was a fence. So
Indeed.
I mean, the game kind of feels like the next evolution of the MMO. Like this feels like, I mean, I know Destiny beat this to market and is a similar game, but this amps it up so much. I mean, it feels like this is going to be a new type of game and a new thing that we're going to see lots of different companies attempt to emulate.
Yeah, I mean I think it's just really been this generation of gaming where we've seen, the games like Warframe, the games like Destiny. This genre is really coming into its own. And I mean, I just with every entry, every developer trying something new, like I think they just get better and better. Like I really think we're gonna see, maybe it may not be The Division, it may not be Destiny, like whatever game does it and just nails it in every facet, like they're just getting better, and we're definitely going to see more of these on the market. And I'm perfectly okay with that. I love the RPG, action genre blend that they've got going on, the MMOs, cooperative gameplays, like that's really, I mean, that's what I'm all about. You put co-op in a game, I'm willing to give it a shot. But these type of definitely when you have to have people working together to beat any of these missions, especially the hardest difficulty they have unlocked right now, it can be a chore. So having everybody work together makes it just awesome.
And speaking of working together, guys, I don't know if any of us have gone into the Dark Zone. I haven't yet. I'm sure you have, Kevin.
Yeah.
I don't know if Jordan or Rob have yet. I'm assuming Rob hasn't, but
Yeah. I know Jordan took a stab at it, but going into the Dark Zone by yourself is really a crapshoot. I mean, going into the Dark Zone in and of itself is a crapshoot, but
Holy shit.
being
Yeah.
there solo is a different beast.
It was, oh my good Lord. Holy shit. Yeah, so I go to work and I'm like, hey Kevin, I've been playing that Division, my apologies. And I'm level 14. He's like, oh man, you gone to that Dark Zone yet? And I was like, that Dark Zone dough. Hell no, dude. I don't want to get all murked up. He's like, no man, listen up. You're level 14. You're at the top of the goddamn food chain because it's done in brackets. It's 1 to 14. You're gonna go in there and you're gonna murder people. You're gonna he filled my head with fucking stories of grandeur of me coming out of there, the strongest motherfucker, like just walking in and it being the beginning of no, not the beginning, but like I'm Dr. Manhattan in Vietnam, just fucking dun da 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 da. Fucking the times are a change in our plan as I'm just killing people left and right. No, I walk in there,
Slow motion.
yeah. And I
And
get my shit
this is PvP, by the way, for
firmly pushed in. No, and it wasn't even it was by the NPCs, not the people.
Oh,
no
really?
kidding.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, and with the NPCs, like those are definitely you got to take a different approach to them than you do a normal player. See, I didn't even know you were talking about the NPCs are the ones that murdered you, because those let them surround you and they will dominate you. But the players, like the Dark Zone, is not really about the PV or the PvE aspect of it. It's about being able to either work together or against these the other agents there. Sometimes you just gotta go rogue. I've only had to go rogue once against enemy players with full intent of going rogue, but yeah, I mean it's something you just have to, when you're level 14, the top of the bracket, the other players can't do any damage to you if they're not at the same level. NPCs, not the same story.
Yeah,
So,
they can do a shit ton of damage.
my apologies for not making that clear.
That miscommunication there. But yeah, the Dark Zone, I haven't really been successful in that yet because I don't have a group to go in there with. But
We'll go.
I was like,
go.
hey Dylan, you want to go to the Dark Zone? He's like, no, because you're gonna fucking kill me. I was like,
if you go in with a group of people, you cannot kill anyone in your group. It is, yeah, it is completely, your squad is completely fine from anything you do. However, if you go rogue and you're in a group, everyone in your group goes rogue. So you put a target on your head, you just put a target on everyone's head. And people will find you because it is worth their while to come and murder you.
To do so? Yeah.
Yeah.
Word. Well, do you guys even have any interest in going into the Dark Zone, guys?
I do.
Yeah, at some point. It's unfortunate that this game came out this week because this is my busiest week of the year, so it'll probably be next week before I get leveled up enough to do that. But yeah, I definitely want to do it.
Hell,
I'm thinking this is probably going to be our new co-op jam for quite a while.
for a little bit.
Oh
I
yeah.
think we'll have some time.
You want unfortunate. No Man's Sky comes out the week I'm going on vacation with my wife for her graduation from school.
Hey, you think that's bad? Doom, and now they pushed Uncharted 4 comes out the week I'm having a kid.
Come on,
Maybe
Sony,
you just
get
keep
with
it in
the
your
program.
pants, Rob.
Yeah, if you'd have just been a good Catholic-Christian distant,
Well,
be
I
good.
think I'm just going to send someone with a GoPro to the hospital, and I'll just watch it.
just get a
There you
3.
go.
No, don't
Priorities,
do a GoPro.
man.
You need to get a one of the 360 flies, so you can get the entire room and then put your VR helmet on, then turn your head and watch everything that's happening.
How can I do that while I'm playing Doom, though?
You have this is what you have your Oculus, and you have a Microsoft what's their HoloLens. You have a Microsoft HoloLens imitation on your on your Oculus, and then so you have this little square that you're playing Doom in, but the rest you see is your birth being happening. It's
Okay,
good.
that makes sense.
So, hate to butt in. Oculus was brought up. I know last time I was here, we were talking about VR, and PlayStation VR was one of the things brought up. That just got a release date and a price point. So
Yeah,
I
Who's getting
am,
one?
Kevin,
I'm getting one.
are you getting one too, Rob?
Oh yeah,
What the fuck? God damn it! You people made of money.
they the smart thing Sony did here is they gave me time to plan. I know, okay, I need a camera now. I need 2 move controllers. They say you don't need them, but you need them. You're gonna want them. So I can do that, and then when the other one comes out, just buy it on credit when the full unit comes out. There you go,
So wait, how much is the full unit?
$399.
So it's $399 plus a camera plus 2 move controllers. So it is the same price as an Oculus.
Yes,
Da fuck.
With
Without-
more peripherals.
an Oculus without the touch.
Yeah.
Yep. As I say, with more peripherals.
Yeah.
But you have to have those to work it, right?
They say you don't need both move controllers, I think. If
You,
not
you don't
just
need
one.
either, actually.
Okay.
You can play it just with a PS4 controller, but I don't think you're going to want to. I think most of the best games are going to be designed with the move in mind.
Oh, my Leap Motion shipped, by the way, Rob.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
I'll be shipping you an Oculus here in probably about 2 weeks. So
Word. So it'll get here the same time my Leap Motion does it on April 2nd.
yeah, just about.
Now, I don't need an HDMI port open, do I?
Yes.
I do?
Yes.
I do.
Yes. For any VR headset, you do.
I do?
And speaking of that, the PSVR, did you look at the photos and stuff, Kevin?
I have.
It's quite an array of cables they've got there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that'll be
pulling this
interesting.
up right now.
Did they say how long the cable is too? Because it's got to be pretty damn long.
3 feet.
Let me pull this up. Dear Lord, no.
You can only get 3 feet away from your 67-inch TV.
It doesn't matter. Your TV is 3 millimeters from your eyes.
Yeah, but you're going to turn and hit your TV with the camera or with the
That's true.
lens.
Here we go. Oh goody, all of the specs except the size of the cable. It looks like it'd be about anywhere from 8 to 10 feet. Just looking at the cable itself.
Okay, so that's pretty good. As she is wont to say, a pretty good size. So I think that's an all right deal. The quality of the headset from people who've tried it isn't quite up to what the consumer Oculus and Vive are, but apparently it's better looking than the DK2. It's at a higher frame rate than the DK2 Oculus.
And that's what's important. Like this
and it
has an
looks
install
cool.
base. That's the thing, is that
Yeah.
you don't have to buy a computer. If
Yeah.
you can get this, and people with PlayStations, there are more people with PlayStations out there than there are with Xboxes or Wii's or anything like that. If they can get this to catch on, then this will be a good push for VR. I mean, I think they have a better chance of contributing towards the greater furthering of virtual reality than Oculus or Vive, just based on the amount of inherent customers they have with that system. And you'll see sales during the holidays and during stuff like that of that thing dropping to $299. You know it.
Probably.
Yeah. I
No
mean,
one's
all in
selling.
cost, if you don't have a PC, all in is half of what it is to get a PC and one of the other headsets. It's probably it's like $900 to get a PS4, a PSVR, and the accessories you want. So
Yeah, just about. I think it comes out to about $550 after, with everything, peripherals for the VR, the cameras and the moves. But yeah, that PlayStations are on sale constantly these days, so would not be tough to get all of those, especially for someone like me who does not have a monster of a gaming PC, and then wanting to, what is it, 700 for the Oculus, 800?
No.
it's 600 for the Oculus,
600?
800
Oh,
for the
okay.
Vive.
Gotcha, the Vive. That's the one I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, not that made of money.
But yeah,
That's
that 400. Now, have they released if there's going to be some sort of box doing some post on that, like post processing or anything?
So I did some research on this after we talked about this. The box does not do post processing. The box actually sends it unwarps the signal, because due to the optics in a VR headset, you have to warp the signal before it reaches the optics, and then the optics themselves unwarp it as it transfers to your eyes. The box hooked up to the PSVR actually unwarps it and sends it to your TV so that people in the room can see what you're seeing. The trick that they are doing is asynchronous time warp. It's the same thing the Oculus uses. So theoretically, if a game's running at 60 frames per second on the PS4, you could time warp it up to about 90 and not have any bad artifacts, and it actually looks pretty smooth. Like if you don't know how asynchronous time warp works, look up some demonstrations of it on YouTube. It's really cool. It's not interpolation. It's a new way to put in new frames that the computer doesn't have to render, that can actually slightly move with your head. So it's very convincing. So that's the trickery it's using to overcome the relative weakness of the PS4.
Okay, interesting. But where's the dividing line between those different things? The three different headsets. Which one will win?
Oh, the PSVR is going to sell the most for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
It's going to sell millions.
like you said, install base. That's what it is. What is the one that's most easily accessible, and then what's the one that's the cheapest? That's I wouldn't say the Wii was the best console in the previous generation. This number spoke for itself, though. Like, how many units of the Wii got moved every year? So,
Right.
Yeah. And if you get a PSVR, you're not getting a piece of crap. You're getting a great headset. 2 years ago, this would have been the greatest VR headset that existed at any price. So, I think it's a great deal. I'm excited about it.
Yeah, I can't wait to get all this stuff up and going, and I really want to see Generation 4 of the VR stuff. Like, that's the one right before they inject it right into your cornea.
oh yeah, I was about to say you will put nothing in my brain.
You don't want the PlayStation 9 that goes through your nose and stimulates your cerebral cortex?
You remember that commercial like I do.
Yes, I do.
No, I think I'm fine not having Skynet tell me what to do. We pull the plug before then.
Right. That was such a great commercial. PlayStation
Yeah.
9 directly attaches to your cerebral cortex to give you the best gaming solution.
It's like, I'm like 8 and the PlayStation 2 just came out. What's happening?
I was like, this is a real thing? Oh my gosh. What
I
the
saw
fuck are you doing,
Terminator.
cat? Can you guys hear that?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
my cat.
Huh.
What did you eat, dude?
Squeaky toy.
It sounds like it.
So anyway, yeah, that was kind of an aside, but I'm glad you brought that up because that was the big news this week. And,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm stoked. I wish they'd hit that $299 price point.
Right.
I really do. But you know what? Like if it's $3.99 to not be a piece of crap, I'm fine with it not being a piece of crap for $3.99. That's perfectly fine.
Yeah, and it looks awesome. It's by far
Yeah,
the
it does
best
look
looking
really
of the
smooth.
headset.
Oh yeah. We'll have to see how it goes. But I'm looking forward to it. But how let's get back to the Division.
Gotcha.
We already got I think we covered quite a bit of that conversation. Initial now let's graphics, it's fucking pretty. It's all you need to know.
Holy crap.
It looks like my fucking best dreams came out and then snowed on them. And then had a plague happen. But they
And everyone died.
and then
Yeah.
had a plague happen. Then everybody dies, and then
now
I
I
can kill
did
a bunch of
notice
people.
that they did we're gonna have snow that builds up. I have not noticed that. I laid my character and I sat there and waited for snow to build up on my character. And that did not happen.
Yeah, I like when the snow catches on fire. That's
That's a good
it's
time.
real immersive.
The first video I sent Dylan, he never got it actually, which is funny. I'm like, here, look, your first view of the Division, because I could play it and he was working, was me blocking a doorway and doing jumping jacks so people couldn't get past me.
Oh, you're that jackass.
Yeah, were you on that day?
Oh no, they're just give anybody collision detection in these games and they're gonna block a doorway. That's how it is.
I've already run into people at the top and bottom of ladders.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, they're great. So I actually just threw a grenade in the Division, watched all of the snow melt because it was an incendiary grenade, and went, oh, that's cool. And then watched it all come back. There's no snow. I'm standing under an overpass. So that's interesting.
It's all just like unmelted.
It unmelted itself.
That's
why they had all those delays.
Yeah, it was cool for a second, and then it became slightly less cool.
And then you realize that this really is an MMO and you can't actually affect the world.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think it was the same for the one of the reasons that Elder Scrolls Online didn't do as well as everyone would have hoped, because everyone hoped for an Elder Scrolls game in an online setting, not realizing that you can't just walk up to a shopkeeper and take all of his stock, because then nobody else can get his stock.
Yes.
Yeah.
It kind of broke the world for me when we were playing last night and Rob was resetting a mission and I'm watching him sit there and then all of a sudden the exploded window or the exploded garage is fixed and the two guys that were like getting ready to run in there are now standing calmly on the other side of it. It's like, oh, this is the holodeck. That's what we're dealing with.
Time magic.
Yeah. Computer, please resume program. Like that's really what it felt like. Initiate hard mode. Like it looked exactly like that. Like it phased out, phased in, everything was fixed. It was perfect. I'm convinced the Division is only a simulation being run in the 24th century by the Enterprise crew.
We're trying to see what happened and what we could do to prevent this tragedy from happening.
Yeah, what they didn't say is this is the tragedy that started the Econ Wars that drove Zephram Cochrane to make the warp drive in the first place. I just went all fucking nerdy.
It's like that movie Source Code. Did you ever see that?
No, but I hear you can tell me about it and then tell me about it and then tell me about it.
Yeah.
Tell me a story.
I heard it's pretty good though. Was it pretty good?
We all changed.
I liked it. Yeah, it was Duncan Jones who's actually doing the Warcraft movie, but it's cool. There's this train crash, and they actually use this weird thing called the source code that lets them relive events so they can figure out what happened. But he only has the amount of like the very limited amount of time in the event, so it keeps going over and over and over again. Also, kind of like Edge of Tomorrow too.
I liked Edge of Tomorrow. That was a good movie.
Love that movie.
Yeah, yeah. If you guys like that, check out source code.
The funny thing about that movie is it's called. I work at a local electronics shop, and someone wanted to know, they wanted a price check, and this particular cashier, when calling for price checks, is kind of loud. So I'm like, "What do you need?" And he's like, "I need a price check on this." And I'm like, "What?" And he just like yells louder. I'm like, "What is Live, Die, Repeat?" I'm like, "Is that a movie?" I need a price check on Live, Die, Repeat. No one can find this Live, Die, Repeat. And I'm like, what is going on here?
Wow.
And so I'm looking, and it's Edge of Tomorrow, but because it says Live, Die, Repeat,
That's all people see.
I thought
Yeah.
that's what it was called.
so they were looking in like comedy, because that was comedy. No, it's an action. It's literally filed under Live, Die, Repeat, not under Edge of Tomorrow.
Yeah,
And-
I've noticed the same thing with our filing system. It's not great. If you look at any Nintendo 3DS that comes in, it's filed under a Sony Nintendo 3DS.
Of course, I love those.
They're the best ones.
No, Jordan, that movie actually is based on manga, I believe. I think it's called All You Need Is Kill. Is that right?
All you need is kill.
Which is an amazing
Kill.
name.
Kill is all you need.
Yeah, that's what it's called. I can see why they didn't go with that title for the movie, but I like it. It's like
I don't know,
All you
man.
need is kill.
Sometimes a movie title can make that movie. I mean,
All you need
Guardians
is kill doesn't
of-
sound bad.
Yeah.
For instance, that movie in China was called Interplanetary Unusual Attacking Team. I would have seen the crap out of that movie.
what was it?
The Avengers. No, sorry, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh,
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, Intergalactic.
What was it called?
Intergalactic Unusual Attacking Team. Sorry, Interplanetary Unusual Attacking Team.
Well, worth it. I would go see an interplanetary, international, galactic operation team.
Yeah, sure.
Attack team?
Attack team, yeah, that one.
Why not? Any of them. I'd see any of them.
What's
Yeah.
Fast and Furious? I can't remember. Shit.
I don't know. Drift cars.
Yeah, Drift Car Super Fast Face. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. But, well, shit, gentlemen. I think we've covered quite a bit of what we're going to discover. Does anybody else have any closing thoughts? All of you try to go at once. Go.
Holy crap, get it.
Yeah, I agree. If you like co-op gameplay, if you like third-person shooter, you know, Gears of War, Mass Effect, those type of games. Like,
It plays better
this-
than those, though, in my opinion.
Well, yeah, it does. I'm not going to not taking anything away from those games. You know, those. It's been some years. They've had some time to
Marinade.
you know, yeah, marinate the you know, to flush out the gameplay. But yeah, I mean, if you're at all interested in, you know, the third person shooter genre, or just, you know, a really solid co-op game to play with your friends, like Division is definitely gonna be the game for you.
Rob?
Yeah, just know you're buying a time sink, because it absolutely is. Like, this is a very grindy game, but a super good one. Yeah, but I would say, like I said earlier, the best in this little subgenre we've had so far.
Awesome. I'm gonna agree. I think it has its weird points with glitches, but what game doesn't? Overall, if we're comparing this to something like Destiny, I think this has a better setup than Destiny does. I still think that there are some issues that need to be addressed. Content is one. It doesn't seem like there's a whole huge amount of it. I don't see how the give me a second.
Yeah. You said content, and it clicked in my head. I totally forgot about the updates. But sorry, continue.
So to say, I don't know how the updates are going to work in such a meaningful way when it really feels like when you've finished the story, you've gone through and done all those missions and upgrade your character, correct? What kind of side content can they add for that? Mr. Kirk, your rebuttal there.
So they actually have already announced their full DLC plan. Which not just the DLC. The first update, I believe, hits in the next 2 weeks, and that adds the first raid content of the game. I believe they're called incursions, but that will be the first free update that they're doing for the game. You don't have to buy any of the DLC for that. There will be another update a month after that, where they haven't announced what comes in that one, but the first DLC drops a month later with increase in level cap, more content or more story missions, more guns, more armor, stuff like that. But I think they're taking basically the Destiny approach, adding more content with DLC.
Oh, Kevin, you
However,
reminded me. Yes.
but unlike with Destiny, I don't feel like any of this content is stuff that was pulled from the game prior to launch just to be added onto a DLC. Like this game feels, especially with games nowadays, like I feel like when I paid for $60 for this game, I got $60 worth of game instead of, $20 worth of game that I'm paying another 40 for a season pass to get all of my game with.
Yeah, that is true. I haven't felt like they pulled this stuff like it's not shipping with that. But one thing I do want to complain about: the shoddy fucking control port from console to PC.
Thank you. Totally
It is
forgot that.
Fucking terrible. Now, this wouldn't be so bad if I wasn't having an issue with my Xbox One controller right now, where if my Xbox One controller disconnects from my PC in any way, like turning itself off because of time or me pulling the plug, my mouse stops working and all of a sudden it goes beep, 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 whenever I move my mouse or try to click on anything, and then I literally have to like power down my computer, the hard power down. So it's that's it wouldn't be such a problem, but they did a really shitty job of porting the controls over from the consoles to the PC. There are inputs that you cannot change in the console or in the PC that feel like they're just made for console. So for example, in the console version, if you tap the shoulder button or whatever that gives you the med pack, and you get the med pack. If you hold that down, then it brings up your other healing item menus. If you tap the grenade button, it brings up your grenade, then you can throw it with your attack button. Or you can hold down that same button, and you can choose that with a thumbstick. Like, choose from the radial menu. They use that same terrible setting on a keyboard.
Yeah. Ugh. And the grenades, too.
Yeah, and your mouse
awful.
is your thumbstick, except for it doesn't stick. It auto centers.
Yeah,
It is
I can see how that would be
bad.
absolutely atrocious. Yeah, I mean, if it's bad enough, definitely, let them know. Send your support tickets in. Let them know that this is not okay. I for something that bad though, like I see that getting changed in an update real quick, like one of the first PC updates.
I'd hope so.
Hopefully, anyway.
Or
Because yeah,
like-
that sounds atrocious.
Why do you have an aiming down sights button and then an aiming down sights button? Do you have that on the console?
What are you talking about?
So on the PC, if you want to aim down sights, you have to
Oh.
hold right mouse button and then middle mouse button.
So, guns stock don't come with sights on them. They come with just the standard iron sights. And that's your hold down your left trigger for those of you using a controller. Yeah, left trigger will have you just aim down the sights. If you want to use your scope, you click in the right stick, and that will activate whatever scope you have equipped to it. And like on PC, I can see why that would be a bit of a problem. On a controller, however, like sometimes I don't need to go into my 24 times zoom with my sniper rifle to shoot some guy who's 8 feet in front of me, but sometimes that's the only gun I have. Like I can't just switch over to I'm out of ammo for my primary and sidearms. I don't have a lot of luck with those. So yeah, I can put a bullet or two into a guy who's relatively close to me with my sniper rifle while just aiming down the sights. But yeah, I can see how that's a little confusing. And
Yeah, Jordan, you can also hit tab. I've discovered. So it does.
Well,
That's not like you have
that's
to
the
use both
alternate for
mouth.
melee. Like, but there's no.
No, when you're holding. No, listen. When you're holding the right mouse button, you hit tab, and it'll bring up your reticle.
Yes, because tab and middle mouse button are the same input, which is melee. It's an alternate for that one, so it's the same hit. Yeah, so you can just change that to whatever. But what I have the issue with is why. Well, I guess Kevin actually answered that in a good way. So they have like not needing your
But
your 24 times scope,
The,
but still,
the controls and interface in general should have been tweaked more for keyboard and mouse users.
yes, I completely
Yeah,
agree
definitely.
with that.
Yeah, I don't think it would have taken too long either. You know.
Yeah, I mean, this game already, I was thoroughly convinced even when they had a release date for it. Like, I won't believe the game is out until it's been out for like 6 months, and I know that when I buy it, it's not just going to be an empty case because Ubisoft kept pushing it. But yeah, I would have definitely been fine with it getting pushed back a little bit just to get smoother controls all across the board.
Yeah.
Not see another Batman port happen.
Oh. I think we're actually going to end on that note. That sounds like a dour note to go on. So I want to say thanks to you, Mr. Kevin Kirk, for making the time and coming back on.
Yeah, not a problem. Always fun to be here.
And Mr. Dylan Smith, thank you, of course. It's always a pleasure, and I know it's late there for you. So,
It's all right, man. Always a pleasure. Appreciate you letting me on, man.
Rob, we've been together for over 200 episodes, sir. It's amazing.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
Right?
4 years, yeah. It was March of 2012 we started.
Yep.
That's nuts.
4 years of doing this, and 4 more years to come. So, you listener, if you want to contact us within those 4 years, you can find us at gameoutloudpodcast@gmail.com. You can reach us on Twitter at gameoutloudcast. You can also find our entire backlog, almost our entire backlog. Maybe if you guys ask enough, I'll give you the first 25 episodes that were just recorded as Game Out Loud, which aren't on the feed or anywhere else right now. So, if you want those, hit us up, let us know, and if enough people ask, we'll put out those terrible recordings. But until that point, find us on iTunes, find us on Stitcher, rate, review. It helps us get up in the numbers, so we really appreciate that. And I think I'm going to start the outro here, so you guys have a good weekend or week, and we will see you next time. Have a good one, guys.